Alien Dead here with some good news, since, my other videos are all about how the industry is going toward microtransactions and loot boxes and all that other garbage. Let's look at something positive. Alright, Phil Spencer wants Xbox Game Pass to cross over with Project xCloud. So basically what that means is, how there's an Xbox Pass in Xbox 360 and Xbox One, where you're pretty much getting games for free, and you can, I think that's what it is, like the Xbox Gold Pass, pretty much, where you can just get, tons of stuff for free, and all you have to do is pay the subscription. I don't really like the way that they get it here, because here's what they're saying. While on stage at Barclays Global Technology, Media and Telecommunications Conference in San Francisco this week, Xbox's Phil Spencer talked about Project xCloud. Now it's going to reach over 1 billion Android phones. I don't know if there are over 2 billion Android gamers. I honestly don't think there's that many, but I could be wrong. The move comes into the wake of his continued success followed his promotion to the head of Xbox and him making them tons of money. So basically this guy knows how to make money for the company. So that's great, but that doesn't tell us anything about how the gamings are going to be. They're going to start and acquire 7 new first-party studios. Obviously don't do that with tremendous support. So hopefully that, I guess, Microsoft is going heavily toward the mobile market, and they say free-to-play content, because from what IGN is getting across, it makes it sound like, oh, we're now getting into the free-to-play market, so we're going to have plenty of free-to-play games that you buy through a subscription. So if they have, microtransactions, that's going to be really shitty. But see, we have multiple business models that work well with streaming, but the connection of streaming with the subscription model makes a ton of sense. So here we'll have multiple business models that will work with streaming. See, is that where the whole microtransaction place is coming in? The connection of streaming with the subscription model makes a ton of sense. Connection of streaming with the subscription model makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Sense of 10A. Spencer explains, citing music and video streaming as examples. You can look at Project xCloud and take a look at something like Game Pass, and you can see there's natural synergies. Talking about what set Microsoft's subscription service apart from its competitors, and says that it's all about how we reach 2 billion gamers. If you build the market around a couple 100 million people that are going to own a game console or high-end gaming PC, then your business model diversity can actually narrow because your customers are narrow. But when you think about it, reaching a customer with this content where their only computer device could be an Android phone, you think about it. Well, what are the ways that person pays for content if they do it all today? The intention with Project xCloud is to eventually bring Games Pass to every device. Spencer added, see, this, in my opinion, makes it look really, really bad. Last year it was revealed that the company formed a new studio in Santa Monica, the initiative, and bought 4 studios. Ninja Theory, Hellblade, DM's Devil May Cry, Playground Games, Forza Horizon, Undead Labs, State of Decay, and Compulsion Games, We Happy Few. So, microtransaction heavy, super expensive, special edition. I don't really know anything about this. I think State of Decay was, they were mad at them. Compulsion Games, I don't know, but I think We Have a Few turned out good. Okay, so there's the IGN cover of it, which I think is really bad, but here is Games Industry by James Batchelor. I think I forgot to read the other girl's name, but it was in there. Microsoft wants to put in its Xbox Game Pass service on every platform. That's according to Xbox boss Phil Spencer, who discussed plans for the subscription scheme in front of attendees at San Francisco's Barclays Conference. GameSpot reports the Xbox exec mostly centered the conversation around how it might bring Game Pass to smartphones. When you think about reaching customer with this content, where their only compute device could be an Android phone, you think about what are all that ways that person pays for content, and see where they didn't say anything about like a billion in this. And this IGN's talking about billions. I mean, I really don't think billions of people own Android phones. Like, what about people that own smartphone or iPhones? Like, I don't think there's a third. But, I mean, I could be wrong. What are all the ways that person pays for content today? Spencer says we need to make sure that we're world-class at free-to-play content, but we also look at subscription as a much lower barrier way for a customer to build a library of content. So this led me to believe that it was more like the Xbox Gold subscription, but I could be wrong. So we built Xbox Game Pass. It started on console, it will come to PC, and eventually it will come to every device. We use the flywheel that we have with customers on an Xbox to start the growth in Xbox Game Pass. But as somebody sitting back and taking a long-term view where business is going, you should look at that as a business model that we think scales to billions of people, not hundreds of millions of people like retail does. Alright. The most obvious way Xbox can bring its Game Pass titles to mobile is through Project xCloud, the streaming service announced earlier this year that goes into public testing in early 2019. The initial video demo showed Forza Horizon 4 running smoothly on a smartphone, and the launch of an Xbox Game Pass app could provide access for mobile users. However, the most interesting implication is that Microsoft might seek to bring its Game Pass service to PlayStation and Nintendo devices. Spencer's comments weren't limited to console, then PC, then mobile. He instead said every device. So, this could be really amazing. I think this has a lot of potential, so hopefully we'll be able to follow this, and hopefully it'll be positive compared to loot box abominations. Whether the rival platform holders will allow such a service on their consoles remains to be seen. It's almost unlikely with Sony, given the firm's reluctance to even open its systems up to cross-play for popular multiplayer titles. But Microsoft has been working closely with Nintendo this year, even promoting their cross-play functionality. They misspelling. The cross-play functionality in a joint marketing campaign. It's also worth noting Microsoft has already released content on viral consoles in the form of Minecraft, although this is, of course, a property that was already on multiple devices before Microsoft acquired it. So, I think it's got potential. If it has microtransactions filled with it, then it's going to be, I think, the worst thing ever, but if it doesn't, and this is the new way, I mean, I'd much rather pay a subscription for games than microtransactions, because let's follow and see what they do. Also, depending on the grinding, or let's say you have a subscription that's, you're just a silver subscriber, but become a gold subscriber for an extra $5 and you'll get 20% XP increase. You'll here's some items, a couple of quick ones, I mean, this could be really positive or go in a really dark manner really quickly. So let's stay hopeful. Alien Dead out.